MotoGP Historical Mod is here for GP bikes, 2003 through to 2006, 15 legendary bikes. I'm looking forward to this one. So here we are in Misano. This is the 2006 M1, and of course this is in the pre-season livery from a Sepang, I believe it is actually. And it's rare actually, as you'll see, other people on track, and you'll probably see messages. I should have turned chat off, but most people won't know I'm recording. It's actually rare I jump in public lobbies when, Jesus, for exact reasons like that. It's rare I jump in public lobbies for recording just because there's so much else going on. But there was a public lobby up, there's a couple of people in there, we're at Misano on these bikes, and this is the whole point of today's video, is this mod pack. So recently Javi has released the MotoGP Historical 1.0, as I mentioned in the intro. Has 4 full seasons of bikes, and it's, for me, the kind of golden period of MotoGP. So for me, the end of the two-strokes, well, the mid to early 90s, the whole 90s was a great time for GP. You had the Rainy Schwantz years, then you had Doohan's domination alongside Crivier. Along came Rossi, then into the 990 area versus Gibernau, and everything that went on with Biaggi. There was just a great period there of maybe 15-20 years where everything was great. And I thought the kind of 2004 to 2006 bikes, they're probably my all-time favorite GP bikes, the last of the 990s before they went to the dreaded 800s in 2007. But this mod pack isn't completely new. Obviously, we've had the MotoGP Historical before. It was V0.82, and to be honest, I thought Javi had kind of just left it, but then maybe a couple months ago I saw him posting screenshots of the 2005 M1, and he's posting all these things about how he's basically going to go 1.0 with it. So I was really looking forward to it. Now we do have our hands on it, and one thing you will note, this M1 probably isn't the greatest example. We will probably jump into another private session in a minute and show off some other bikes, but the sound pack has been done by Fisherman. Now, if you're not aware who Fisherman is, he's a sound kind of engineer from my knowledge, and he makes absolute, just not safe for work audio is what I'll say for this game. His stuff is absolutely incredible. Pretty much every mod that's been out, he's kind of gone back and most of the popular ones anyways, gone back and made sound packs for them and just made them so much better. This M1 is actually quite tame, but this is just what this bike would have sounded like. We will probably jump on the Kozaki sale, as that is what the thumbnail for the video is. But I saw this lobby up, so I said I'd jump in. But it's just, this mod for me, I think, is going to be very popular over the next probably year or so with this game, because again, as always, I'm very grateful for when mods come out from people, because that's what keeps the game alive. Javi putting on another fine mod, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this one, because multiple seasons, and I think what will end up happening is we might have a 2003 MotoGP kind of maybe championship or league hopefully going forward, and then maybe an 04, 05, 06, and it's just adds something for the game, because of course the game doesn't get updated regularly and the game has issues, and unfortunately there's not a lot of base content. A lot of the mods are maybe designed for previous betas, not work perfectly on this one. I feel like some of his older stuff, probably from Javi, like his Superbikes 04 pack, that doesn't feel as good as it used on the current beta, which is unfortunate, because that was probably my all-time favorite mod, to be honest. But yeah, so having a mod that was designed and brought out on this beta is always really nice, just because it feels like it's a bit more tight and well kind of compacted to be designed around the current features of the game. But moving forward, I'm just really hopeful that we get a championship or two out of these mods, because it's just a very interesting time in the MotoGP world for me. The mid-2000s, Rossi's domination, Hayden's title, the last of the 990s, and they were just really impressive bikes for me. No aero, very limited electronics, and just kind of high-tech engineering gone into it, which for me is probably a lot more interesting than what we have now, considering what Marc Marquez is winning on at the moment with the GP25. The tech really isn't that interesting for me. I'm not really too fussed about aero and ride-out devices and all that jazz. The kind of electronic aids and hydraulic aids really more than anything, but just takes the fun out of it for me, and I think a lot of people are in that same boat. If we could go back to bikes like this, because I think we often hear the kind of comparison, oh, what would Marc Marquez be like on a 500 two-stroke? But even if we went back to something like these, because when he came in 2013, the bikes had gone very, very much in the direction that they're gone now, where they're really stiff. They had immense electronics up until 2016 when they switched back to the the one manufacturer of electronics in the Magneti Marelli. So the bikes were incredibly engineered in the kind of 2011 to 2014, 15 period of just the top manufacturers, Yamaha and Honda, on their own really had kind of just stolen their march. But I think overall that's probably better in terms of having the one ECU across. Has probably made it a bit more fair, but there's definitely winners and losers, as there always is. But so far, this mod, not the easiest thing to ride, I must say. Bike slides a lot. It's quite agricultural in ways if you're used to riding the kind of modern stuff from either Javi or maybe Manu or something like that, maybe even the X1 Super Sport Pack. I think even if you're used to riding them, these bikes will be a bit probably dated to feel because brakes aren't super strong. Doesn't take a whole lot. You can see the bike dancing around quite a lot, and I'm not actually pushing this at all really, and it's actually taking a bit of a mental kind of approach really actually to try and keep this bike on the track. So it's good that it's not too easy to ride. I've noticed it feels very soft, the front of this bike, and I think this one actually, the 06 bike, the 06 M1 at that, is one of the better ones even for that, because I felt that in other bikes I have ridden, we will probably jump on the Kawasaki like I said, and that's a bit of a pig. Not really sure what Japanese hatred for the Kawasaki manufacturers, because every mod he puts out, Kawasaki is like nearly the worst bike now. Unfortunately, it probably is accurate a lot of the times, which is sad to say, but it's just funny, like every time we get a Javi mod, the Kawasaki is bottom tier by a margin. So we're going to shut up here. I'm going to try and actually do a competitive lap. We're 2.7 off here, but just going to roll around chatting and see what we can do if we actually maybe turn the wick up. There's some extremely fast boys in this lobby, so high chance I won't really go that fast. Superman up near the top. Max Keelas, Motor 3, multiple race winner this year. He's in there as well, and he's pretty rapid. Absolutely no surprise in that, but I'm going to give it a lap or two here and see what I can do. Really struggling with this mod to pull it down actually, as you've just seen there, but we're going to pretty much shut up for this lap and maybe actually listen to the beautiful sounds from Fisherman and see how it sounds. Just noticed first touch of throttle, there was a bit of crackling and popping. There's just really high definition audio is the best way to describe it. There's a lot going on throughout the rev range. Oh, so much chatter into this last corner. Missed the apex by a country mile. Up the line we are. Only at 1.6 off. Not too bad. Just before we go, I'm going to try and show off some of the audio. Just jumped onto service road there. Someone into the last corner. I don't know who this is. It is a Rossi Yamaha. Sounds bliss. My camera work is not great. Unfortunately, there was a couple of people on track a second ago, and now everyone's gone back to the pit. So I think we'll leave this session here, and we'll jump on a Kawasaki because, well, it sounds ridiculous. So we're just coming out of the pits here in an overcast day. Actually, let's say there's not been very many race days we've seen weather like this. Decided to go in the day conditions because, of course, back in the 2004-2005 season, it was a day, kind of late afternoon race, bit of a nearly dusk time just because of temperatures. I have the clutch in just so the bike is barely idling. I'm going to shut up now for the next 10 seconds, just let you listen to this bliss green machine. How bloody good does that sound? Of course, back in the day, the Kawasaki's were a screamer. Not a very good bike, this, to be honest. Best results really ever came in unusual races or in the rain or something had to go amiss. They weren't really competitive Kozaki, which makes me sad. And we're never going to see Kozaki back now in MotoGP realistically. So this is the most high-tech Kozaki we'll ever get, and to be honest, it's pretty much perfect. It's a gorgeous looking machine, and like just the soundtrack is outrageous. Now, unfortunately, in the game, it's actually a bit of a pig, I find. Doesn't like to turn, doesn't like to trail brake. Rear end is floaty, but it makes up for it when you get out of a corner and you can just do this. What a weapon of a machine this is. And again, when we kind of make the mods in this game, a lot of the newer stuff, it's quite drab and boring, because a lot of the newer stuff is drab and boring, really. Modern superbikes are very much, shall we say, they're all made in the same silhouette of each other to some extent, whereas back in the day, you had some serious engineering masterclasses going on to make these. It's just when it gets up near a red line, it just starts to scream. It's like a V10 F1 car where you just think you're about to hit the red line, it just keeps going and going. We're going to shut up again on the pit straight here. Unbelievable. Probably my new favourite bike on GP bikes, just this bike alone. And even though all I've said is bad things about it, it's just, it just sounds so good. So yeah, I think shortly down the line, I'm hoping maybe the GP Bikes tournaments lads maybe could whip up a few leagues with us on these. Of course, they're running the Moto 2 one at the moment, which won't end till the end of the actual real life GP season, which is a shame for us because that is quite a while away. But you never know. Maybe I might get in. Maybe I'll reach out to a few people and see if we can get a couple leagues going or something, because these bikes are difficult to ride, right? They're not the most enjoyable bikes to ride in terms of pushing and trying to go fast, and I think the 06 M1 is actually one of my favourites I've ridden. But man, the soundtracks and just how beautiful they are, and just you can kind of put up with someone if they're a bit moody and a bit annoying and a bit something if they're as gorgeous as this thing is. So yeah, it's a pretty special pack just in terms of what the bikes were back in these days. These, like I said, probably 10 times this video, kind of prime era of GP for me. I'm a bit jealous I never got to see these bikes live, and 2016 was the first GP race I was able to attend, so quite a bit on after that. That's back then basically the Michelin tyres and the magnetic ECU and stuff, so they were pretty what they are now in some aspects, what I saw. But these things are just, I would love to see this bike. And the RS Cube as well, the 04 Aprilia, which is in this pack, which Fisherman did a sound pack for the original mod that Javi had made, and that RS Cube. I'll put a clip for here on screen in a second, but man, that was outrageous. So just to finish up, I'm going to just play this clip of me going down the pit straight. It just sings. Again, in the most recent GP Bikes beta, they proposed to kind of fix the sound from around the track to make it more like real life. And wait till we get to the long kind of camera here in a second. It is pretty bliss. Just listen to it sing. Just what a piece of kit. And then you see opposite lock on the front wheel into turn 1 and not an apex made. And have a quick look back to see where the apex was. But yeah, chat, we're going to leave there. I hope you have enjoyed. I'll link this mod down in the description. I hope you check it out. Let me know what you think of the mod yourselves. It's just really cool to get these bikes kind of finally finished and have them at our disposal. So again, massive thanks to all the GP Bikes modders, not just Javi, but a big shout out to him and Fishman for bringing this wonderful mod. And yeah, I shall see you on a racetrack sometime soon. Thanks for watching. Slán go full Búcalaí.